Alright lads, GeeLand here, and we're on week 4 of this little competition I've got going, where me and Football Manager, we take a look at the upcoming fixtures and decide to predict what we think the score will be. So yeah, here is a run through of last week's scores. First up we had Bournemouth and Man City. I predicted 3-1 to Man City. And FM predicted 2-0 to Man City, and obviously the actual score was 2-1. We were both right with the result, so we got 10 points there, but no one got the extra 5 points because we were both only one goal away from the final result. Next up, Crystal Palace versus Swansea. I went with 1-1, and so did FM, but it was obviously 2-0 to Swansea, so no points for either of us there. Huddersfield versus Southampton up next. I predicted 1-0 to Southampton, FM 5-0 to Southampton, and it was 0-0, so yeah, again, no points. Newcastle versus West Ham. I weirdly said 2-1 West Ham, and FM predicted 2-1 to Newcastle, and it was 3-0, so FM got 10 points for the correct result there. Next up, Watford versus Brighton. I predicted 1-0, FM predicted 2-0, and it was 0-0, so no points again. Manchester United versus Leicester, I predicted 3-1, FM predicted 2-0, so FM got 50 points for that one and I only got 10 points for that. And then on to the Chelsea versus Everton game. We both predicted 2-0 for that one and it was 2-0, so we both got 50 points for that one, so I couldn't gain any points on that for the correct result because they predicted exactly the same as me. After that, it was the West Brom versus Stoke game. I predicted 1-1, which was completely right, and FM got it wrong, so I got the 50 points all to myself. Next up, Liverpool versus Arsenal. I predicted Liverpool to win 3-2, FM predicted Arsenal to win 2-1, and it was a 4-0 romping by Liverpool, so I get 10 points for that. And last but not least, Spurs versus Burnley. I predicted 2-1, and FM predicted 3-0, and it was 1-1, so no points once again. So to round up week 3, I got 130 points and FM got 120 points. And for the grand total of the first 3 weeks, I'm on 250 points, FM on 305 points. So I've got a little bit of catching up to do, haven't I? And the first game of week 4 is Man City versus Liverpool. So Klopp's record against big clubs has been pretty decent since he's come to Liverpool. And Liverpool's record against City has been pretty decent as well. Also, I'm not really convinced with City's back line, to be honest. So I am saying Man City 1, Liverpool 2. Let's see what Football Manager predicts. Mendy to Delph, has a dig, gets blocked, has another dig, and it goes in the back of the net. 1-0 Man City. Chamberlain plays a low cross to Salah, who slots it in the back of the net to equalise. And the final whistle goes Man City 1, Liverpool 1. And the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs is Arsenal versus Bournemouth. Yeah, there's so much pressure on Arsenal to actually win this game, and I think they will do, to be honest, but not without Bournemouth causing them a little bit of trouble. So I'm predicting Arsenal 2, Bournemouth 1. Let's see what Football Manager reckons. Lacazette steps up to take the penalty. Coolly slotted into the back of the net, 1-0 Arsenal. Alexis, lovely shot to make it 2-0 to Arsenal. And the final whistle goes, FM predicts Arsenal 2, Bournemouth 0. Next up we have Brighton versus West Brom. Yeah, Brighton are pretty poor from what I've seen so far of them this season, and West Brom actually look pretty good, especially with some of the signings they've made, like Ollie Burke from RB Leipzig, and who else did they buy? Krychowiak as well from PSG. I'm sure they bought someone else, but I can't really remember. But they looked good anyway, so I can't really see past them on this one. So I'm saying Brighton 0, West Brom 2. Let's see what Football Manager predicts then. I'm going to fade away now. Hamed Izquierdo, lovely goal, 1-0 Brighton. Rondon plays it through to McLean, he slots it past the goalkeeper to make it 1-1. And the full-time whistle goes, FM predicts Brighton 1, West Brom 1. Now we have Everton versus Spurs. Now I don't think this will be a very high scorer. Initially I thought Spurs might nick this one, but now I'm starting to think it might be a draw. So I'm saying Everton 1, Spurs 1. Let's see what Football Manager reckons. Well, I didn't record the gameplay, but they predict 3-1 to Spurs. Next up we have Leicester versus Chelsea. I think Leicester are on the same level as Everton, and Chelsea beat Everton 2-0. So by that genius logic, I reckon Chelsea are going to beat Leicester 2-0. Yeah, that's really how deep it gets in this prediction. So yeah, let's see what Football Manager thinks. Simpson swings it in, Vardy heads it into the back of the net, 1-0 Leicester. Marcos Alonso through, slots it past the goalkeeper, lovely goal, 1-1. Morata running through, finishes it from a tight angle, and it's 2-1 Chelsea. Willian with the free kick, oh, it's in the back of the net, 3-1 Chelsea. And the full-time whistle goes, FM predicts Leicester 1, Chelsea 3. And for the last of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, we have Southampton versus Watford. Don't think this is going to be a high scorer by any means, but I'm just trying to think who's actually impressed me the most so far this season. And I think it's Southampton, to be honest. I don't know. I just see them as better than Watford. So what I'm saying is Southampton 1, Watford 0. Let's see FM's prediction then. Cedric, Austin, Romeo. Oh, lovely goal, 1-0 Southampton. Cedric swings it in to Austin, 2-0 Southampton. And the full-time whistle goes, FM predicts Southampton 2, Watford 0. And for the late kick-off on Saturday, it's Stoke versus Manchester United. Stoke have had a pretty good record over United in recent seasons, but United are a different beast this season, aren't they? They just look good. And it's nothing to do with the fact that I support them or anything like that. Stoke 0, United 2. Let's see Football Manager's prediction then. To Ander Herrera. Ooh, unbelievable goal. 1-0. Pogba. Ooh, another unbelievable goal there. 2-0 Man United. There's always one. They copied me, 2-0 United. The first game on Sunday is Burnley versus Crystal Palace. Reckon we have 2 relegation candidates here, so a 6-pointer. But I think they'll both get 1 point. Burnley 1, Palace 1. I think I've said 1-1 Palace for like every single one. FM's predictions. Go on. Taylor swings it in. Oh, and Dan turns it into his own net. 1-0 to Burnley. Schlupp drills it to Benteke, who equalises. And they've copied me again. Like, what is this? Burnley 1, Crystal Palace 1. The late game on Sunday is Swansea versus Newcastle. Yeah, I've been struggling with this one. I'm really not sure who to go with. But one thing I'm sure of is there's probably not going to be that many goals. Who am I going to go with? Screw it. Swansea 0, Newcastle 1. FM's predictions, please. Call back to Marino. He slots it in to the back of the net and it's 1-0 Newcastle. Ritchie plays it to Hosselu and he puts it in the back of the net. 2-0 Newcastle. Hosselu to Atsu. Cuts inside. Oh, lovely finish to make it 3-0 Newcastle. And FM predicts Swansea 0, Newcastle 3. And the last of the lot is West Ham versus Huddersfield. Now I expect West Ham to do a little better, and if they don't, then see you later Bilic, basically, innit? Still don't think they'll win though, as Huddersfield they've been pretty decent, haven't they? So what I'm saying, probably going to be West Ham 1, Huddersfield 1. Let's see what Football Manager predicts then. Noble with the penalty. Coolly taken, 1-0 West Ham. Chicharito runs through and smashes it into the back of the net to make it 2-0 West Ham. The Poitre heads it over the goalkeeper, 2-1. Arnautovic running down the line, swings it into Chicharito, and he makes it 3-1. Zabaleta into Arnautovic, he smashes it to make it 4-1. There we have it. FM predicts 4-1 to West Ham. And here is a recap of all the predictions for this week. Take a look. Compare and contrast. Who do you reckon will win? I think it's me, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked those predictions. Well, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week with another one of these.